All right. Hello, everybody. We are going to go ahead and get started with our sample spot training. This is, again, the training for the new sample spot demo program that is happening inside of Price Chopper and Market 32 stores. So we're going to go through a few of these slides to make sure that you are all set, ready, and prepped for your first event. And then we'll show you also towards the end how to complete a recap, which is required for every event. So we'll go ahead and get started. You should be able to see my screen now. This is just the title page, and then we're going to just go ahead and go through this, okay? Alrighty. So again, Interactions presents the Sample Spot training. So what is Sample Spot? Sample Spot is the name of the new and improved sampling program at Price Chopper and Market 32 stores. This is a program where we do in-store sampling demonstrations, including ready-made food, easy cooking, open and serve items, and adult beverages as well in select stores. So this is just a message from Price Chopper. They wanted to include this, or rather the Golub Corporation, who owns Price Chopper and Market 32 stores. They wanted to make sure that you understand a little bit of the back history and feel a part of the team. So first and foremost, welcome to Price Chopper and Market 32. We operate over 130 stores in 6 states from our main offices in Schenectady, New York, and we're proud to be an American-owned, family-managed company where the teammates own over 44% of the privately held stock. We trace our roots back to 1932, when brothers Ben and Bill Golub opened their first store in Green Island, New York, under the name Public Service Market, which later became Central Market. In 1973, they changed their name to Price Chopper, which you'll see on over 100 stores. Today, you are a part of our latest transformation as we remodel and convert stores from Price Chopper to Market 32. Our Market 32 stores build on our traditional strengths in fresh foods and excellent value by providing more local products, more prepared foods, and a modern shopping experience. Throughout our history, we've been an innovative retailer of products and services that recognizes consistently satisfying our customers is key to our success. We're also a part of each community we serve. Whether you're working in a Market 32 or Price Chopper store, we're here to serve people who seek a quality food experience in support of a well-balanced lifestyle. As part of our sampling team, you'll be helping fulfill our goal of providing food experiences that inspire shoppers to explore. Welcome to the team. All right. So a little bit more about this program. So I mentioned that there are adult beverage events in select stores. So I wanted to show you what that looks like. So food events versus adult beverage events. So in this program, we have about 500 food events per month, sometimes less, sometimes more. The volume does fluctuate just depending on the time of the year. The food events are manually scheduled, meaning that we create your schedule, which you can view in your FieldLink profile. So what that means is we do scheduling about 2 to 4 weeks in advance. We aim for 4, but it's always a minimum of 2 weeks. If we have anything within that 2-week window that comes up last minute, we will call or email you before scheduling you in because we realize you may have already made plans. So let's say you were only scheduled for a Sunday, but you weren't for this Saturday. I would then contact you, or someone on the team would contact you and say, hey, we had a last minute event come up. Are you available Saturday? And at that point, you can say yes or no. If you ever need time off, you have to email pricechopper@interactionsmarketing.com. Again, that's pricechopper@interactionsmarketing.com. That is the primary email we will use to communicate with you, and that is what you should use to communicate with us. It is a team inbox, and the reason we use it is because if one of us on the team is not in the office, we can easily get back to you because we manage that event inbox every single day. So it's really important that you make sure you email that inbox rather than us individually, because if one of us is out, we can quickly get back to you in that general team inbox. You will be sent a availability survey if you haven't already, and we will ask you for the days that you're available, if you're willing to go to multiple stores, all of that good jazz. And based on that availability survey and your results, we will plug you in when we can. So if you want to learn more about that, we can elaborate a little bit further, but we wanted to give you the gist of how scheduling works. It's much like a regular part-time position. So we want to make sure that you are aware we do schedule you on the back end. So you don't apply for the events that you want to work. We schedule you when we need you. And if you ever need to not be scheduled, we need you to let us know, again, by emailing pricechopper@interactionsmarketing.com. On the flip side of that, there are adult beverage events, and there's approximately about 175 to 200 of these each month, and they're only held in select locations. So, for example, if you are living in Vermont, we do not sample alcohol there. So if you're in a Vermont store, we won't have them there. We do have them mostly in New York, but there are some in Massachusetts as well. And then I believe we have 3 Pennsylvania stores, and we currently do not do adult beverage there because they're not sold there. So that will just depend on where you live geographically. For adult beverage events, we do not manually schedule you for those because those are, A, you have to be over 21 to work those, and B, they're more to supplement your schedule. So after we finish the food events, you are welcome to go in and apply for the adult beverage events. Sometimes they're wine events, sometimes they're beer events. It just depends. And you're welcome to apply for those. They will show as opportunities in your profile, and I will show you what that means. So those we won't automatically schedule you for. Instead, you will get an email letting you know, hey, there's an adult beverage near you. If you'd like to apply for it, click apply now. So then you would apply, and those work on a first come, first serve basis. So those are highly competitive. And if you are the first one to apply to get that, then you will be hired in. And within 24 to 48 hours, the system will send you an automated email letting you know that you have been scheduled. So again, just want to explain the difference between how we schedule food events for Price Chopper and Market 32 and how we schedule adult beverage events. They're very different. So if you need clarification, please email us and we can help you out. Okay. Alrighty. There are 2 types of food events that we do. We do national brand events and we do own brand events. So on the left-hand side, you can see there's national brand. These are the brands that you know. These are brands that are sold everywhere. So these are, Kraft, Eggo, Velveeta, Coffee Mate, Tide. These are big, Chips Ahoy, Ritz. These are big name brands. These are brands that are sold everywhere in all grocery stores. Now, own brand events are meaning that the products are exclusive to Price Chopper and Market 32. So a lot of times people call them store brand. The way that we call them or refer to them is own brand. And their own brand, mostly what you'll see, there's a couple other ones, but Picks is the main one. That's just not P-I-C-S. It's pronounced Picks as a one word. It's kind of like Price Chopper Picks for you. So anyway, these are the equivalents. So, a lot of times you'll see Picks orange juice next to Simply Orange juice. So it's typically the cheaper version, not always lacking in quality though. Some of these own brands are really phenomenal nowadays. So we will always tell you whether or not you are doing a national brand event or an own brand event. So we just want to know, in one instance, you're representing a brand. The other instance, you're representing a brand that is only sold at Price Chopper Market 32, but we want you to understand that that is at that store only. So it's important to mention that in your selling tips when you are there at the store. Okay, this is the program look. So the hat and apron and these cute little buttons that we've added for flair, those will be at your at the store when you work in the sampling supply area. So please grab 1 hat, 1 apron, and then 3 buttons. And those are yours to keep, and you're responsible for bringing those back with you, taking them home, washing them, bringing them back. That's yours. So don't leave it at the store. No one's going to wash it for you. It's your responsibility to bring it back. And then this is what the table carts will look like. All the stores should have these by now. If they don't and yours does not have one of these green table wraps that say Sample Spot, please shoot us an email and let us know what store you're working at so that we can make sure we talk to the store about making sure that they put those on. But just wanted to give you a little bit of a look and feel. We're trying to go for a modern look here, with this rebranding of Sample Spot. So that is what that looks like. Okay, procedures and policies. So I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but if you need time off, all time off requests have to be emailed to pricechopper@interactionsmarketing.com. Please note that a 2-week minimum notice is required, but if you know farther in advance, that's definitely what we prefer. The sooner you guys tell us, the better. It's a lot easier if we're working on the schedule and we already know what you need off. Like I have already done, a month out of scheduling. So if you know farther in advance, it's a lot easier for us. Attendance policy. So this one is super important. Your schedule is your responsibility. It's not ours. It's not anybody else's. It's yours. Attendance is extremely important. Multiple callouts will result in disciplinary action. If you have an emergency and you cannot attend your event, you must call or text, not email. Call or text the appropriate number on your event materials. Failure to inform us that you're not going to your event will result in an automatic written warning. So again, you need to call or text us. So let's say you're traveling to your event and you become sick, or there whatever sort of emergency is on day of, you need to call or text us. Now, if you know a few days in advance and you have an emergency, like you have to go out of town or whatever, that's fine to send us an email to pricechopper@interactionsmarketing.com. We will confirm that we received it and removed you. So if you notice that we didn't remove you from the event and it's still saying you're scheduled in FieldLink, please send us another email or call or text us, because otherwise it could mean that we missed that email and we still assume that you're working it. So keep badgering us if we didn't remove you, and wait for that. Make sure you get us to reply, because we will reply every single time and let you know that you've been successfully removed from the event. Now, phones at events. This is a big one, and this is a complaint I get from stores a lot. You are not permitted to be on your phone at events except to take the required recap photos. So phone calls, texts, earbuds, Bluetooth headphones, etc. at your demo station are not allowed. You are only allowed to have your phone to take the required recap photos. Your job is to actively engage customers and sell the product. Even if it is slow, the answer is no, you cannot be on your phone. You need to make sure you're actively engaging customers and actively trying to sell the product. Last but not least, please do not eat the samples. This is a food safety violation. It looks unprofessional. You would have to go in the back and wash your hands again, change your gloves. So please, again, do not eat the samples, guys. If you have any questions on these policies, you can email us. Proper uniform for food events. So again, we're talking about food events only in this training. There's a separate training for adult beverage. Food events are black slacks, all black closed-toed shoes, and a white collared long sleeve button-up shirt. Ladies, you can wear a 3/4 sleeve. I get that question sometimes where it comes a little bit above your wrist. That's fine too, but it can't be like a t-shirt. So please make sure, and it needs to be white. You must wear your hat, apron, name tag, and buttons to every food event. And then clean and simple makeup, no jewelry except wedding bands, and no visible tattoos. So you can have a wedding band. So if you're married, that's fine on that left ring finger. However, nothing else should be on. So no earrings, no extra flair there. Okay. Event materials and event details. So event materials are what we call the document that has all of the information you need for each specific event. So these are uploaded to FieldLink every Wednesday prior to your event. So for example, if you're scheduled this coming Saturday, but on Wednesday before we leave, we will have your event materials uploaded for anything that Thursday through Sunday, okay? This includes information on featured products, selling tips, setup info, etc. It has everything you need. Backup products, it tells you what supplies you need, step-by-step instructions, what we expect of you, literally everything you need. I bet you your question is answered on this. So always reference your event materials first before you call us, because chances are the answer is probably on there. This is an image on the left-hand side of the first page. They're typically 2 to 3 pages. And please make sure you print and bring these with you for reference, because you will need them in terms of setup and cooking instruction, safety instruction, all of that jazz. Okay, Comdata debit card. So for every event that you will use a company, this is food events, guys. We never, ever purchase adult beverage, adult beverage sampling product. We'll get to that. So this is for food events. You always reference your event materials. It will tell you on whether or not you need to purchase. Almost all events, you need to use this debit card to purchase the sampling product. So for each event, you'll use a company-issued Comdata debit card to purchase your sampling items in one transaction at the end of your event. So this seems to be confusing some people. So I just want to make that clear, that one transaction at the end of your event. So the way that you do that is during your sampling event, you hold on to all of the open packaging. So let's say, for example, I'm sampling some Ritz crackers, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm only gonna open one box at a time. And when I finish that box, I am going to set it under my demo station. So I'll typically have a little shopping basket under my station on the bottom shelf. And then I will put, the box in there, because I'm going to use that empty packaging to check out at the register at the end of the event. That way we're not overusing product and we're not having to make multiple purchases. We're just going to purchase it in one transaction at the end of the event. So again, make sure you save all your packaging. And then once I finish that box, then I will open the next box and so on and so forth. And I'll stop when the event is over. The debit card is held at the customer service desk, and it is never, ever to leave the store. The card must always be run as debit. And as you can see, I have in the top right-hand corner, and I have this on your event materials. The PIN number is 8700. Again, that's 8700. This card will not work if you run it as credit. So please make sure it's always run as debit. We get charged every time that card is swiped That's again why we want you to purchase everything at the end of your event in one transaction. Always reference your event materials to see if you should purchase the items you're sampling that day. Lastly, for adult beverage sampling events, product is never to be purchased. You will ask the manager to shrink it out. Again, you'll learn more about that if you're interested in adult beverage events in a separate training. Okay, this is a timeline of your event and what we expect. So sample spot events are from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. unless otherwise noted. If you need to adjust that time for whatever reason, you need to get approval from us before your event. So 11 a.m., you arrive to the store, check in with the manager, gather your materials and equipment, and begin setting up your station. By 11:30, so a half hour, you should begin sampling. We should be actively sampling the product for 5 hours, and you'll be reciting selling tips during that time, sampling your items, and keeping your station clean and tidy. At 4:30 p.m., so then it's been 5 hours, you're going to begin cleaning up, washing and sanitizing all equipment, and returning items to where they belong. Make sure you save any open packaging and containers, remember, because you're going to need to purchase them. And then around 4:55, about 5 minutes before the end of your shift, you're going to purchase the sampling items using the debit card and have the manager sign your event receipt form, which we will get to. That's required for every event. Also, please remember, guys, that during that time, during this 6-hour shift, you are permitted one paid 15-minute break. So I'll let you can take that at your discretion. It's not required, but it's there if you need it. Again, it is paid time. So you're welcome to use that. I recommend that you make sure that all of your, that you do this when all your samples run out. So let's say I, went through a whole box of Ritz crackers. Now I need to use the restroom. I'm going to make sure there are no empty samples on my station. All of my equipment, whether it's a knife or a skillet, if it's a skillet or toaster oven, it has to be unplugged and cooled down before you step away from your station. Otherwise, just make sure any knives, anything like that is all stashed underneath the station, and inform the manager you are taking a quick break. You are not to go outside and be standing in front of the store in uniform. That's not permitted. So if you need to take a break, you can use their break room. Or you can run to your car, run to the restroom, whatever you need to do, but you're not to be loitering in front of the store in your uniform on your break, okay? All right, during your actual event. So this is your responsibility as a brand ambassador. You need to engage guests. So invite customers over to try a sample and recite your selling tips. Change your gloves as often as necessary. Keep it clean. Always keep your station clean, tidy, and free of any debris. So that should be something you're constantly doing to make sure it looks awesome, approachable. We want to make sure that that's all good to go. Distribute samples. Give out as many samples as possible. And lastly, stay off your phone. As I mentioned, phones are not allowed unless you they're only allowed rather to take the required photos, but do not call, text, or play games during your shift. Service and sales. So something we want to touch base with you guys on. This is a really cool method that Interactions has employed. The high try buy method for sales. So some of you have probably done this a lot in the past, and you have lots of sales experience, and you have great things that probably work for you, and that's wonderful. But for those of you who are a little bit new to this, it's a very simple method. So first things first, you want to say hi to your customers. So say hi to customers that are walking near your event cart. Greet and engage them in a friendly and inviting manner. So don't wait for customers to approach you. Be outgoing, be friendly, be inviting. So as a sample phrase, you can say, hi there, how's your day going? Success. Now you've engaged your customers and you've left them with a positive impression. The second part is try. So invite customers to try your product. Explain what you're sampling and features of the product. Pick up cues about your customer to customize the features. For example, you might notice that your customer is athletic, has children, and is health conscious. Know if your product is on sale or has a coupon. So here's a sample phrase. Would you like to try our new granola bars? They're low in sugar, a great post-workout snack, and a favorite for kids' lunches. Buy one, get one free today. They're on sale. So this is a great example because you've now seen the customer, you realize they're athletic, they have children, they're health conscious, and now you've used something that relates to them. So that's the best way to try and grab them, is figure out what they need and grab their attention by using selling points that are most relevant to the customer. So as a reminder, all the product info, details, and selling tips can be found on your event materials. So success, you have communicated selling points that are most relevant to the customer. Lastly, buy. So encourage your customer to buy the product and take one with them or take one off your cart display. Your responsibility is to work this event as a selling event by making the sale. Take ownership of the business during your event and sell as though you own the brand yourself. So here's a sample phrase. Would you like to take a couple home with you and take advantage of the sale? Success. The customer walks away with the product in their basket. So this is an awesome, really easy for the high try buy method. This is what you should be doing in those active 5 hours of sampling during your event. Here's a little picture of how to clean and sanitize. So all of you are food safety certified through ServSafe. That is a requirement in order to work food events. But just as a reminder, this is how you clean and sanitize. So in every store in the food service area, there should be a 3-compartment sink. And then here's instructions on what you need to do. So in the first one, this is your detergent solution where you wash. The second one is rinse. And so this is just a rinse with hot water. And the last one is sanitizer solution, and you dunk it in there and then you air dry. So these are just instructions and reminders on how to properly clean your equipment when you're done to ensure we are abiding by food safety. So just wanted to put that in there. Okay, event receipt form. We touched on this a little bit earlier. So you must bring an event receipt form with you to each and every event. It needs to be completely filled out. So please do not leave out any information. Make sure you have the manager print and sign at the end of your shift to verify your time in and time out. You can see that over here on the left-hand bottom corner. That's where they need to print and sign their name, and then a store stamp, which is at customer service. So they should stamp it right here, and that's just further verification that you were in fact at that store. And then this box is for the receipt. So after you make your purchase, you need to make sure your receipt is in this box here. If you do not make a purchase for whatever reason, maybe it's a special event or something, you would check this box if you did not make a purchase. And for whatever reason, if you ever accidentally used your own funds to purchase, please make sure you check this box so we know to reimburse you, okay? But this is where you'll write your store number, store name, the date you worked, start time, end time, your name, and you signing, verifying that your hours are true and correct, okay? All right. If you ever need supplies like replacement supplies or replacement equipment, first determine what you need. So we categorize these things in 3 different ways. So you either need equipment, you need supplies, or you need paper goods. So equipment refers to things with a plug. So, mostly. So electric skillet, a toaster oven, a blender, a coffee pot, a Keurig, things like that. That's equipment. If you notice that one of those items is missing, please send an email to pricechopper@interactionsmarketing.com. Tell us your name, the store number, and what's missing, and we will work to get a replacement to the store because those items you can't find in store, so we will take that on. But please let us know if you notice anything is missing. Supplies. These are things like spatulas, cleaning wipes, paper towels, things that can be bought in the store, regular things you have at home in your kitchen. So these items can be found in the store. So please do not ever purchase them with the debit card. The debit card is only to purchase product that you are sampling. Excuse me. Instead, grab what you need off the shelf, go to customer service, and kindly tell them the items you grabbed are for store use, and you will be adding them to the sampling supplies. So that's how you need to replace actual supplies. Now, paper goods, the last category that are specific to sampling, things like souffle cups, paper cups, taster spoons, napkins, gloves, etc. Those need to be ordered from Bunzl. Those order forms are stored in the sampling supply area. If you are ever running low on any of those items, any of those paper goods, let the manager know you'll need him or her to put in a Bunzl order for sampling supplies and tell them what you need. If you ever have trouble with that, please email us at pricechopper@interactionsmarketing.com and we will help get the store on board. If you can't find a Bunzl order form, I can show you what they look like. You can email us for one. So this is a Bunzl order form. That's what that looks like. So, you can see here, there's little cups here, paper cups, translucent cups, taster spoons. These are all gloves, food trays, if you need a food tray, again, which is required. And then here's some additional napkins on here. So that's what the Bunzl order form looks like. And they just basically will scan it when we need to order more. So it is your responsibility to tell the manager when you need more of these items, okay? So that's what that looks like. Again, you can email us if you need a copy, if you can't find one in the store, okay? Alrighty. Next, if you have questions before your event, again, it's a trend, email us at pricechopper@interactionsmarketing.com. That's our team inbox that we all have access to, and it is the best way to reach us and the quickest way to get a response. If you need help during your event, you need to call or text the number provided on your event materials. Remember, it could be a different number depending on the day of the week you're working, so always check your event materials for the number you should be calling for help. this information is always listed in big red numbers on your event materials, okay? So there are times when you might think you're supposed to call Sarah, but really you're supposed to call the person working on the weekend. So please make sure that you are following your event materials for each specific event. Okay, what to do if you need to take a break? We did touch on this a little bit. Turn your allergen sign around to display your Be Right Back sign. If you're using an appliance, please be sure it's unplugged and cooled down. Make sure there are no samples on your cart and tuck away utensils on the shelving underneath. And you are permitted one 15-minute break per 6-hour shift. Okay. All right, so now you have finished your event. Now what do? It's time to complete your post-event recap. Recaps are due the same day of your event. Let me say that again. Recaps are due the same day of your event. Late recaps will result in late payment. You can complete a recap from your smartphone, tablet, or computer or laptop. Remember, if you're using a phone or tablet, you must download the mobile app. You cannot complete it from a browser on a mobile device. A lot of times people will say, I'm having issues, and the first thing I ask them is, what device are you using? And they'll say phone or tablet. And I say, do you have the app? And they say, no. You have to go either to the App Store or the Google Play Store, depending on your device, and download the FieldLink app in order to be able to successfully complete recaps from a mobile device. Otherwise, if you just go to Safari or Google, it's not going to let you do it. So again, please download the app if you're using a mobile device. Now, if you are using a laptop or a computer, it'll just be the FieldLink website. But they do look the same across all devices, okay? And anything that you do on one happens on the other, so they do communicate with each other. Okay, so recap requirements. So in your recap, there's a few things. You need to upload 3 photos plus your event receipt form. So the first photo should look like this. It should be a photo of you at your station. No selfies. We do not accept selfies. So you need to ask a customer or a store team member to help you take the picture. This is a great self photo right here. He's in uniform, he looks excellent. He has some samples out, he's got it displayed right here. His allergen sign is out. This is a fabulous picture. Customer engagement photo. So you may or may not have this one. We would like you to try to get them for every event, but if you don't, that's okay. What we want here is to show that customers are enjoying the product. So this one's okay. It's not great. Kids make for great photos, obviously. We always want to make sure that we ask the customer permission before taking that photo. We do not use them outside of any other purpose than internally. We like to just see that the customers are enjoying the product and that they're having a great time. So this is a good example. These 3 look to be having a good time. And lastly is a photo of your display. It's essentially the same photo as the first one, but you're not in it. So you can take that one yourself. And then I did forget to mention in the customer engagement photo, you can be in that. You don't have to. You can, if you'd like. I have some really great photos of people who are in them with their customer. Please try not to get them when the sample is halfway in their mouth or they're chewing. Those are never flattering for anybody. So just try to get this one when you can. You definitely need to have a photo of you and the photo of just your display. And do not forget your event receipt form. So you do need to take a picture or a scan of that signed event receipt form that we went over, and that also needs to be uploaded into your recap. Don't forget the survey. So within your recap, there is a survey. So they act as 2 separate things. So after your event, you'll log on to FieldLink and you will go into, and you'll see their post-event recap, and I'll show you that in just a second. You will click on your recap to open it, and then you'll see that you need to enter your time worked. So the time on your event receipt form and your recap that you enter in your recap needs to match. So if it's 11:05 and you were late that day, then it would be 11:05 to 5:05 because you stayed that 5 minutes to make it up. And then you'll need to upload your 3 required photos plus your signed event receipt form. And lastly, complete the survey questions. You have to submit both the survey and the recap. And again, I'll show you that. But this is a button that everyone misses that you'll see in your recap. Tap and click to complete survey. You need to click that, and then it'll open up a new window, and then you'll complete your survey questions and click submit. That does not mean you're done. That means you only submitted your survey. Now you have to go back into your recap and then scroll to the bottom and click submit. Okay, so that will make sure one thing submits your survey and the next submits your photos and your time so that we can pay you. Okay, so I'm going to bring up FieldLink here and I will show you what this looks like. So you should be able to see FieldLink now on my screen. And I'm using a ghost account just to show you what this looks like. So you'll type in your email and your password and your sign in. So now you'll see on FieldLink, you'll click this menu button in the left-hand corner, and it will open up a menu here. So what you're looking for is pending recaps. Okay, so my name is Mitch and I just finished an event, and so I need to go to pending recaps. Oh, and it'll show you there's a 2 there because I have 2 recaps that I need to complete. So maybe I had one from Saturday and one from Sunday. Yes, they are due the same day of your event. However, we do not work on Saturday and Sunday. So if you complete both of your Saturday recaps on Sunday, that's fine, but we need to have them the same day for weekdays because we come in Monday mornings to close them out for payment. So you can see that I'm clicking on here for my pending recaps, and these are the recaps that I have that I need to do. As you can see, let's just pretend that this is the date and this is the event I just finished. You can click anywhere on here to open this. So anywhere on here you can click. So I'm going to click here to open my recap. And you can see here that it tells me, okay, this is the event I just worked. It was hot Italian sausages. This was the date, this was the time, and this was location and my pay rate. If you ever did not work your event, you would fill one of these out. But again, you cannot just go on here and fill this out and not notify us that you didn't work. So if we ask you to complete a did not work recap, that is what you would do. Most of the time we will do it for you. If you let us know ahead of time that you can't work, we will take care of it. But you are never allowed to just come in here and click this without us knowing. You need to let us know if you're not going to your event for whatever reason. Hours worked. So this is where I put in my time. So I worked 11 a.m. to 5. So I'm just going to click this. And this is not, it says like your time, but this is the actual time that you started. So you want to say 11. I'm going to click a.m. That's really important. Click set and it will lock it in. Then check out. I'm going to scroll down until I get 5 o'clock because that's when I checked out. Make sure it's p.m. and click set to lock it in. If I took a break, which I didn't today, I would enter it into here in the same way, but it's not required. The little star means that it's required. And then this is what I was talking about, guys. I'm going to click here to complete the survey. So we're going to click on the survey. It's going to open up a new window. So this is my survey, and I'm going to answer these questions. So how many individual samples? So I distributed 150 samples today. Total cost of my items. So I'm going to reference my receipt. It looks like it was $27.13. Where did I set up at my sampling station? I was in the produce and deli area because that's where the sausages are sold. Did I need to use any backup products? Nope, all the products were there. So I don't need to list any backup products. So I would just put NA here. And then 3 sentences of guest feedback. This is required, guys. So 3 sentences of guest feedback. So as an example here, I might say that a gentleman walked up and said he could smell it from the parking lot. He was so excited to try it. Everyone loved the sweet Italian sausages. Oh man, I can't type today. A little bit more than the spicy ones. Sale was a huge help in selling this product. Kids even loved it. Okay, so I had some great feedback. I didn't have any negative feedback about the sausages today. And then here is any additional observations, feedback, or suggestions for future events. So this is where you can tell us, if you ran into any issues or whatever, you can type that in here. Okay. Then I'm going to click next. And then it's going to say important. Please read. Clicking the submit button below only submits the survey. You must go back into your actual recap to submit your time and photos. So not only do I tell you this in the training, I tell you it after this as well. So a lot of people don't read this, but you need to click submit. Now, again, it'll tell me thank you for your time. I'll say okay. And I still have to go back to my recaps. That's what everybody forgets. At this point, we only have your survey questions. We do not have your time. So you need to close this out, go back into your recap. And then I'm going to I already entered my time, but I still need to add my photos. So I'm going to go ahead and click this camera. Sorry, I did that a little fast. You're going to click this camera to upload your photos. So I'm going to click this. I'm going to choose my file. And I'm just going to, gosh, I'll have to find a random one here. Okay, so here's a taco photo that we did. So let's say it was, tacos today. And you're going to choose, is this an event photo or is it a receipt photo? So in theory, you'd have 3 event photos and 1 receipt photo because that's your event receipt form. So I'm going to call this an event photo. And then you'll see the icon here. That means that it is uploaded. So now you can move on to the next one. You're going to click the camera again, and you're going to repeat this process until you've uploaded all of your images. So that's an event photo. I'm going to add one more event photo. Let's see here. Oh, oopsies. There we go. Oh, that's not a valid file. It needs to be a JPEG. So, okay. Okay, here's another. So this is an event photo. Just work with me here. And then let's pretend that actually I can do my event receipt photo here. Let's see. So here's an example. Oh, I don't know what happened to it, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, so here's an event receipt photo. So, and then this one I'm going to label my receipt. So now I've got all my required photos in here. Let's pretend this is a picture of me, my customer engagement photo, and my display photo, and then my event receipt form. And then at this point, I've already done my survey. I have already entered my time. So at this point, I can click Submit Recap. It's going to give you this little progress bar to let you know it's submitting it. It's going to take a little bit of time because the photos might be large. So it'll tell you it's sending your images, submitting your recap, and it will let you know when you are done. So we'll just wait for it a little bit longer. You want to make sure it tells you that you actually successfully submitted it. So right here, it says recap submitted. So we successfully completed a recap. So that's the way that works. Also, just want to show you really quickly viewing your schedule in here. So to view your schedule, you just click your menu button and then events. So you can see right here, I have one event that I'm scheduled for. And then I'll click event list to show it. And this will show me my scheduled event. So I see that I have an event scheduled for this Saturday. It's from 11 to 5. It's at the Clifton Park store in New York at store number 250. And I'm sampling pineapple. And then once we upload your event materials, like I talked about the Wednesday before, this is where they'll show up as well. It's kind of funny here because you don't really know, but see, this is the event receipt form and it says already reviewed. We're not really sure why it does that, but that is a link. This blue here is a link. So you can click on that and that's going to open in another window or download depending on your system. So it's downloading down here and then I'm going to open that up. That's my event receipt form. So I'm going to print that and take that with me. And then, I know it's weird that it says already reviewed, but that is what you click on and actually to pull that up. So here's my event materials. It says read and print these, review before the event. So I'm going to click that blue writing. Again, that's a link. And then it's going to open my event materials. And here's my event materials for the pineapple that I can print and bring with me. Okay. Okay. So that's how you view your schedule. And then we don't confirm events through here, so you can ignore that for Price Chopper in particular. You can also view your event materials by clicking here. So this is the pineapple, but this doesn't give you the full date. So you would need to know, okay, I'm doing pineapple this Saturday. This is how you can access your event materials. And then here's some profile, details and things like that. So very self-explanatory. Play around in here, guys. Let us know if you have any questions. And then to log out, you just simply hit log out like that. Okay. All right, guys. Well, that concludes the training for today. So I am just going to have you guys, please, once you've completed this, email pricechopper@interactionsmarketing.com with your first and last name to let us know and the code word sample spot. So please add the code word sample spot in your email to us so we know that you successfully completed and watched everything in this training. At that point, we will add a recap to your profile so that you can be paid for your time. So we will add a recap. We'll ask that you just complete it. You won't need to upload any photos for this one, and that is just how we pay you. So it'll be good practice for figuring out how to do that, okay? Thank you guys so much for your time, and I hope you have a great rest of your night or day, whichever. And thank you so much for being a part of Sample Spot. We're excited to have you on the team. All right, bye-bye.